来台湾干嘛的？
Thank you. Anyhow, I came yesterday,
Yes.
and I'm now starting my journey from Kaohsiung to Taipei.
Okay, that will be wonderful.
I hope so.
I spent 2 weeks biking around Taiwan. I started from Kaohsiung and decided to go all the way up to Taipei via Hualien, a total of approximately 700 odd kilometers. I was absolutely overwhelmed by the kindness of the people I met along the way. On day 1, I had just gotten out of Kaohsiung and was stood at a traffic stop sign when
Hengshun, then Taipei. How about you? Hengshun? Diving. Can I come? Can I come?
Yeah. But not all day.
Just for some time.
Yeah.
I'll be fine. It's okay. Go on, have fun.
Okay.
Bye.
and then he sped away. But then later he stopped at a cafe and brought me iced tea. I'm not really a tea drinker, but I decided to ask someone for directions. I walked around the bed and I spotted this house, so I decided to ask them for help. The husband was having dinner and the matriarch of the house was sitting on a chair scrolling through her phone. She saw me and said something to her husband in Mandarin. All I could make out from what she said was just one word, American. I like to think that she used the adjective bumbling, given that I couldn't find the campground. I decided not to correct her and went along with the bumbling American tag.
These lovely people just asked me if I've had dinner, and she said if I didn't, I could eat at their place.
It wasn't just that they offered me, a stranger, a bumbling American no less, dinner. She called the owner of the campground to come and pick me up. And while I waited, she gave me a drink to cool down. And as if all this human affection wasn't enough, the dog decided to get in on the act as well. On day 2, I stumbled upon this tourist information center in a little village in the middle of nowhere. I'll talk more about this center in another video, but the guy running the place, he offered me a beer. I can't really hold my liquor, so having a beer before I climb up a mountain would be disastrous for me. Free or not, I had to turn him down. I called ahead to make a reservation, but no one would pick up. If the number you're calling from is a non-Taiwanese number, no one seems to really pick up your call. What's the best way to avoid scam calls? Don't pick up calls from unknown numbers, especially if it's a foreign number. Well, since they weren't picking up my calls, I figured I'd show up and hope for the best. I showed up, and it was empty. Not a soul. So I biked back the way I came from and asked these people if they could help me. They called the campground. Guess what? Someone picks up almost immediately. However, the owner did mention that it could be a while before she could get to the campground, so I had to wait at the shop. True to form, they offered me drinks, dinner. I ended up talking to them for a while. Of course, all using Google Translate. And then they actually came along with me to the campground and made sure I had everything I needed for the night. Absolutely wonderful people.
Oh, please, no. No, 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 no.
Banana, okay? Banana, okay?
On day 6 it rained a bit, so I took cover when a bunch of friendly folk who were already there got talking. as always using Google Translate, and they wouldn't let me leave till they gave me banana chocolates. I had to convince them that the more they gave me, it will add to the already overweight bike and overweight person on the bike. Yeah, I couldn't convince them though, so I had to take all that they gave me and went on my way. Taiwanese people seem to really enjoy fattening you up.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. 谢谢，谢谢。
If you are the beneficiary of someone's life insurance policy, these cliffs are the perfect place to bring them to. The buses back to Hualien aren't frequent, so I decided to hitchhike. I had never really hitchhiked before in my life. I'm used to getting rejected by women. Now I was volunteering to get rejected by everyone. Anyhow, I spotted a couple of guys who had also just climbed the mountain, and I asked them if they could give me a ride back into town. Not only were they happy to give me a ride back, they invited me to lunch. I found out that he used to play baseball professionally. I had finally met a local celebrity. Since they gave me a ride back into town, the obvious thing for me to do would be to pay for their lunch, right? But they wouldn't let me. Honestly, I tried, but they wouldn't. It wasn't just the natives that were helpful. I had run out of cash, and a couple of Indians I met at a restaurant in Hualien, who lived locally, helped me by trading my US dollars for Taiwanese dollars. There must be something in the water here. It was a tough climb, I mean really tough, but the views were worth dying for. I camped at a hostel, and the next day I biked some more, and then I hiked up Heihuanshan. From there on, it was all downhill, literally and figuratively. Here's a word of advice: don't always follow Google Maps, especially in the countryside. Somewhere near Lishan, Google suggested I take a country road, and I did. I was biking along when...
Hello. Oh.
English.
Oh, English. Here.
No, 不对不对。出去。这里没有。没有。喂，大佬，那个这里有一个那个。
Okay, you have to go to the number 7 row.
It was already 6 in the evening, and if I turned back, it would soon get dark and I'd be stuck somewhere in the mountains with no place to sleep. So I asked the tea farmer if I could camp somewhere here. He said that I could camp at his warehouse. He also offered me noodles, energy drinks, canned beans, and like all the people I had met so far, wouldn't accept my money either.
You can eat this all day.
Tomorrow. Good night. See you tomorrow.